Our guest is Ann Bockelman. Ann is with the Old Bridge Preservation Society. Ann, welcome to our program.
Thank you, Jim. It's nice to be here.
Thanks. Tell us a little bit about your organization, how it got started, and what your activities are today.
Well, the Old Bridge Preservation Society started almost 3 years ago when the new high-rise bridge was being built. And some of us found out that the old pontoon swing bridge that we loved, and some people didn't love for many years, was going to be scrapped. It was such an icon in our community and had such an important role in the development of Sunset Beach that we wanted to save it. So long story short, lots of work and the generosity of many people, we were able to save the bridge. And now it is becoming a museum. So it's a little center in our community, and we're very proud of it.
And tell us where it's located now.
The bridge is on Shoreline Drive West, just across from the Sunset Beach Firehouse number 1. So it's close to Twin Lakes and Island Breeze and the shops in that area.
Can visitors stop by anytime?
They can come by. We're right now finishing up some construction, but we have programs there in the summer, and I'll tell you a little bit more about those as we go along.
Great, great. I know you have a big event coming up in May, so how about telling us more about that?
We do. We're really excited. On May the 4th, we are presenting the Strawberry and Wine Fest. It's going to be the first Saturday in May, May the 4th, 12 till 6 at Silver Coast Winery. And we just have a whole variety of things for people to do. It's going to be a wonderful day. We hope everybody will come because it's going to be an annual event. So if you come this year, you'll be in on the ground floor.
First
and you can
annual.
say, I remember when I came to the very first one.
Absolutely, yeah.
We have lots of things going on that day. One of our big attractions is the Imitations, a band from Wilmington that has a large following in this area. They're going to play for most of the day. We're going to have dancing, we're going to have dance contests, we're going to have dance lessons, some other music as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We also have lots of things going on. There will be vendors there with arts and crafts. We have people who are doing jewelry, pottery,
wow,
photography, arts, woodcrafts, local authors, just lots of fun things to look at. And in the winery, we're going to be both outside and inside. So our concert will be going out in the meadow, but inside the winery, we have more things going on. The winery will offer tours and wine tastings all through the day. We also, in the barrel room, are going to have Mary Beth Whalen, and she is a nationally known author who sets most of her novels in Sunset Beach. So she'll be there to sign books and meet her fans. She has a new book coming out very soon, so we're really excited that she'll be there. We're also going to have Bunny Lazan, a well-loved local artist, who will be there with some of her beautiful art. And then you can go inside and have a picture taken in the barrel room. We have local photographers, Guy and Sharon Maple, who are going to set up a booth with big wine bottles and other props that you and your friends or family can go and have your event photo taken with. Great. So that's all going to be a lot of fun. If you get hungry while you're there, we are going to have wonderful barbecue from J.P. Russ. Interestingly enough, many people might not know this, but Mr. Russ used to be one of the bridge tenders.
No, I didn't know that.
He did that many years ago, and of course he's well known for his business in this area, but he's also really renowned for his barbecue.
Wow.
So he's going to come to the Strawberry and Wine Fest, and he's going to have barbecue plates that day, but he's also going to do his pork butts, the barbecued pork butts, and you can pre-order one.
So it's an all-day event.
It's an all-day event, 12 to 6, Silver Coast Winery, May the 4th,
I'm sure you're
first
looking
Saturday.
for a few thousand people of
We
your closest
are.
friends to come
We
out
would
and
love
see
for all
you.
our closest friends to come.
Yeah. Tickets are available?
The tickets don't have to be purchased in advance. It's
Okay.
$5 per person. You just pay at the door. The parking is free. We'll have lots of parking. The one thing people might want to do in advance, though, if they want a pork butt, they need to order one.
Okay.
So they can do that. We have coupons that are available in
Great.
local businesses. They're also on our website. And they can even phone and order a pork butt, and then they can pick it up that day at the festival. People love to get the barbecue that Mr. Russ makes.
And we'll make a lot of that available on screen
Great.
toward the end of this show. Again, and give us the date again one more time.
The date is Saturday, May the 4th, the very first Saturday in May. It starts at noon, goes till 6, and it's at Silver Coast Winery.
And what we didn't say, but I'm sure our viewers probably understand, is that this is a fundraiser.
It is, it is. This is our major fundraiser for the year and will really help the Old Bridge Preservation Society in reaching our goals.
How are the funds used?
Well, we've been working since we got the bridge out of the water and onto dry land about 2 years ago to restore the bridge and the tender house. You know, the bridge was on pontoons. There were 8 big metal pontoons that the bridge floated on and the tender house. So when we were able to get the bridge, which we bought for $1.
I remember, yeah.
So when we were able to get that out of the water, we got rid of the pontoons, but the 100-foot span of the bridge and the tender house are sitting there on the land that Ronnie and Clarice Holden let us use.
Right.
And you can imagine that after sitting on a metal barge for many years, in the salt water, exposed to the weather, there were some areas, particularly in the tender house, that needed a little loving restoration.
Sure, absolutely.
So we've been working on restoration in stages for the last 2 years. We're finishing one of our final stages this spring and have done a lot of work in the tender house. We put foundation under it. We got rid of some of the wood that wasn't in good condition, put new wood in. And this spring we're totally rewiring it because the wiring was quite old.
I'll bet you have some talented volunteers working on that.
We do, and some skilled local craftsmen
Sure.
as well. So there's a lot of work that's going into that. But eventually our goal is to have the tender house be a museum. And the funds that we raise at the Strawberry and Wine Fest will help us restore the inside of the tender house and also help us fund the creation of displays so that we can show people the history of the bridge and the tender house, a little bit about the engineering, because it was a marvelous piece of engineering.
Absolutely was.
And then also a little about the history of Sunset Beach.
That leads me into my next question. Are there some later events involving the bridge this spring and this summer?
Right. We have regular events all during the summer months. And we have a lot of really exciting ones planned for this year. One of them is a kids camp morning for children and their families where they come over to the bridge and do some neat activities and something they can really enjoy. And that's for our visitors as well as our local residents. We're also having at least 2 concerts so far.
Great.
Our good friends Mandy Williams and Linda Ladrick will each be presenting a concert this summer. We're also going to have a program called If Bridges Could Talk. And that will talk a little bit about some of the history in the area and the bridge. For example, where our bridge is situated right now on the land over on Shoreline Drive, there's an oyster midden. And I only recently learned what an oyster midden is, but it's where a lot of oyster shells were buried. So we know that there were Native Americans in our area back prior to the Revolution, probably longer ago than that.
Sure.
And they didn't always live right down on the water, but they would come there periodically to harvest oysters. And they would discard the shells in a big pile, and eventually those became buried. But when we started planting shrubs 2 years ago, we found that we were probably sitting on an oyster midden.
Wow, that's great.
So there's lots of history there. We're learning more about the Native Americans who lived in our area. We're collecting stories about what happened during the Revolution and during the Civil War, and right up to the present day. But there's so much history, and it's just fascinating.
And you've taken one piece of history and added so much history to that in terms of the history of the county and those who have been here. Brunswick County is a county of volunteers. So
You're right.
I'm sure you'd like to have some more volunteers. Tell us about that.
Oh, we love our volunteers. We couldn't do what we do without them. Our organization is all volunteers. But we're always happy to have some new ones if people are interested or if they'd like to come and help us at the Strawberry and Wine Fest. We'd love to have them. They can go to our website, which you'll be showing at the end of the program. It's oldbridgepreservationsociety.org. We couldn't think of anything longer, so we chose that one. And there are opportunities there to find out what the organization's all about, what our volunteers do. They help with our programs in the summer. We put on events in the summer. We're going to have a 4th of July event for the kids. Last year we had a wonderful parade with wagons and bicycles going over the bridge, and music and face painting and hula hoop contests and all kinds of fun things to celebrate. So that's just one of the events that we have throughout the summer.
Well, there's so much going on, and you're such an interesting lady. Tell me how you got involved.
Oh, well, 2 friends of mine became aware that the bridge was not going to be saved. It was just going to be scrapped.
Now, for starters, let's have our viewers understand that you live on the island, and you've been across the old bridge many, many times.
Many times, and waited for it while it was being fixed after
Sure.
it broke down.
Sure.
But that bridge had a charm and a quaintness to it,
Oh, it
and it
really
was
did.
the icon of Sunset Beach.
True.
And it still is. People still talk about it. So when the new high-rise bridge was being built, I think everyone understood that there was a need for that, for the safety and the convenience and the traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I just always assumed that, they would save it because it was so special. And my friends found out it wasn't going to be saved. They started an effort to get the bridge saved, and that was Chris Wilson and Karen Dombrowski. And very shortly into that adventure, they asked me to help them. So over the course of the summer, we started working on saving the bridge. And we were fortunate that we were able to actually get the bridge ourselves. The Holdens gave us land to use. And we started our little nonprofit, and it just grew from there.
How is the bridge actually removed from the waterway and placed on land?
It was an interesting process. We have some video on our website, but they actually, the last day that the bridge operated, there was a little tugboat. They disconnected it, they cut it loose, and they pushed it down the waterway to a little temporary dock. And then they took the bridge apart in sections. So the metal ramps on each end came over, picked up by the crane, put on a flatbed truck, and brought over. Then the big center section was picked up by a 50-ton crane.
Okay.
And then the tender house was moved, and it walked up the little lane over to the site, slowly, like you were moving the space shuttle. So it was a big endeavor to get it moved. But that was a wonderful thing, and we had help from so many people. Jerry Strickland, a civil engineer, helped us figure out everything that we needed to do to move it. English Construction let us buy the bridge from them for $1 because they actually owned it at that point.
Not a simple matter to have engaged in the moving of the bridge.
No, it was a big thing. And the bridge was such an important part in the development of Sunset Beach as a town, because
Sure.
we're both a mainland and an island community. Many of the islands here are just, the town is just the island, but we're both. And so that bridge really had a lot to do with our development.
Both symbolically and in fact.
Exactly, exactly. And we're so interested in the history of all of this. Our town is young. We're just this year celebrating our 50th anniversary. And we've been having celebrations. On March the 26th, we had a really nice dinner and celebrated that. And then in May, we're going to be having a beach party. These are all events sponsored by the town of Sunset Beach. So we're celebrating. There's banners all over the town. And the old bridge is just happy to be a little part of all the celebration of our town because we love Sunset Beach.
It's such a great story. Let's tell our viewers one more time of the date of your event at the Silver Coast Winery. The date again is?
The date is May the 4th, the first Saturday in May.
From noon?
From noon until 6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Going to be rocking all day long. You can come out and enjoy the music. Bring a lawn chair when you come, or we might have some lawn chairs available there. We're working on that, but you might want to bring your own. We're going to have $5 admission. That gets you entertainment all day and so many fun things to do. Free parking. We do ask you, please, not to bring coolers, outside beverages, or pets.
Good.
Just not for that day.
Excellent.
And we're really thinking everyone's going to have a great time. You can taste award-winning wines.
It's an exciting venture, it really is. And we hope our viewers will come out in large numbers.
We hope so, too.
Ann Bockelman, thank you for being with us. We
Thank
really
you so much,
appreciate it.
Jim.
Thanks
I've
so
enjoyed
much.
talking with you.
Yeah.